Hi, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. I'm Shalise Stevens, and I am with my dynamic duo co-host. Did you like that? Was that good?
I think I'm dynamic single, but
maybe now.
There's a few people in there. It's fine.
I'm supposed to take the new wife to a Super Bowl party and just found out I can't.
Oh.
So.
Well, you know what? It's funny is that this is going to actually air after the Super Bowl, so we'll tell your story later of what actually happened.
You might be the dynamic single after that. Yeah.
Exactly. But I think marriage, you should give it 4 months and then, see if it's going to work. And today is the day that things are about to go bad.
Yeah.
But
that's funny that you say that because I'm in a similar 4-month situation right now. But anyway, we are here with Hollie Hope.
And Hollie Hope hopes that everything goes great.
Yes. I hope
for
very
both
much.
of us.
So, Hollie, I'm just going to offer some critique. If you could be a little bit more dynamic and fun, I think that
I will try.
You will be an amazing guest.
Very hard.
So you walked in with drums.
Yes.
You walked in with a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Tell me about you.
A lot of stuff, like the emotional baggage over here. No, I'm just
No.
kidding. We drummed that out. Do you want me to show you?
Yes,
Is that
please.
what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. This drum. So I make these. Can you hear that? That's the ocean. There's crystals in it, and it's magical.
It sounds like my testicle just dropped.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Then there's this baby, the yin yang drum. Do you want me to drum it for you?
Yes, please.
So I make
sounds
these
really
out
cool.
of animal hides. This one's elk. It naturally came with the yin yang on it. So it's really cool. Offers balance.
I see. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you kind of have to squint and angle your head a little bit.
Is it like when there's pictures of Jesus Christ on toast?
Yes! Rorschach. You see whatever you want to see. So what do you see?
I see Jesus. I see a moose, actually. I see a moose head.
Oh, yeah. Moose energy is good. Stability. Focus. Strength.
How did we find you? Anyway, take over.
Well, okay.
This woman mystifies me.
So Hollie is actually one of my very dear friends. I absolutely love this woman. We met because I do energy work. She does energy work. She did energy work on me. See, this is the world that we're going to help you grow in because you said I have areas of opportunity for this. And so I brought Hollie in to
you guys worked in the oil fields.
Yeah.
So you guys
way down in the trenches.
So you guys do drilling.
Yes, in a way.
Okay.
But she actually is a crap clearer.
Yeah.
A what?
Yeah. Emotional crap clear.
An emotional crap clearer.
Mm-hmm.
How does...
Technically, my title is Intuitive Emotion Coach, which means I psychically remove people's emotional crap.
Holy shit. Chris? Does he have to leave his clothes on?
Oh, sorry. I thought I was supposed to edit that.
Okay. So someone who's, you remember Trump's phone call with the leader? It was a perfect phone call. Mm-hmm. I've got I have no crap at all here. But let's say, hypothetically, there were
Well, of course not, because I just drummed you.
Yeah, a couple of hitches in my giddy up. How would you get rid of my emotional crap?
Well, we would tune in and ask your spirit guides. Wow, I sound really woo-woo. This is kind of fun. He thought I wasn't the crazy redhead.
Really
but
woo-woo.
now it's starting to come out.
Woo-woo.
Woo-woo.
Okay.
So we find emotional allergies. We find addictions to emotions and those cycles and those patterns. So the conscious habits that are creating the crap in your life that you keep coming back to. So move forward, move forward. Why did I do that again? I always do that. I hate that I always do that. How come I always do this? Well, I'm not going to do it again. And then so much time goes by and you go through the same cycles. And so I help to find the cycles in a very cynical way. So I'm kind of like a cynical psychic. And then we do all the woo-woo stuff and the energetic side of the unconscious that clears it. So it's a lot like you have this 2-year-old in the back of your head that's always screaming, saying, I want what I want, and I want it this way, and I don't want it to change. And then you have your conscious mind that says, I want change. I want things to be different. I want to move forward. But then the 2-year-old just gets louder and louder, and then you stop. So I come in and say, hey, 2-year-old, this is what we're doing. This is where we're going. We're going to the beach. We're going to build sandcastles. We're going to drum. We're going to have fun. You'll like it. Well, okay. I'll try it. And then you have your conscious mind that reminds the unconscious of it the whole time.
Okay, so we've established that I'm perfect. Let's work on Shalise.
Oh.
Oh, there's a lot of emotional crap right now. A lot that's going on. Actually, well, and because I do so much work, I can recognize when it's happening. And so I mean, it's a blessing and a curse, actually. So it's actually really good that Hollie's here today. So go ahead. Like,
Okay,
ahead.
so
Let's
let's
Do you
do
want
some-
me to do like a reading on her and
Oh, yes.
find something? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But
I think she's perfect.
I think she's perfect.
oh, thanks.
Plus, I've already cleared her crap for like years. We've been friends for years. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we've done
And
a lot of
there's
work.
lots of crap, though, that keeps coming up because I'm a mess.
No, you're not. Okay, that's
All right,
her shit. Oh,
let's-
crap right there.
hey, give me-
I didn't finish the tea. It's fine.
Okay, Holly, let me have the other drum. The ocean drum.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I can. Do you want me to find something?
Yeah.
And we can clear it right now?
Let's
okay.
do it.
I'm going to stand for a brief moment, if that's okay.
Okay.
I'm like, you're going to get a nice view of other things. Okay. Say it quiet, Holly. No one knows. Okay.
What are we getting a view of?
My necklace.
Oh,
Isn't it beautiful? It's turquoise. My sweetheart bought it for me for my birthday. My birthstone. Okay. Okay, that was easy. Okay.
I said that about an old girlfriend.
Just as long as it wasn't a young one. That up cheek. Oh wait. So what came up was, I almost forgot now. It was an emotion. Well, it just comes through, and I usually write it down. So what came up was what's called an emotional allergy. So emotional allergies show up when there's a positive emotion that we refuse to let ourselves feel. It's not safe to feel it, or we felt it and it didn't turn out so well, so we don't want to feel it anymore. Don't hit the mic. And so in this case, it's an allergy that you have to feeling lovable, like truly loved. Because the minute I feel loved is the minute that love can go away. It's the minute that it's a different programming from what I'm used to. And so emotional allergies are a lot like food allergies. As soon as you have the chance to eat a food that you're allergic to, your body goes, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to process this. I don't know if it's safe to feel it. So just get rid of it. You know what? It's just easier, a step ahead. And so as soon as you start to sense that feeling that you might be loved or that you're loved by the wrong person, it's like, nope, off. And you block. And you block and you block and you block. And you push it away. Yeah.
How'd you come up with that so quick?
Her spirit guides told me. They just kind of... That's a professional term.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? How about backwards?
Yes. So
Do you rent yourself out for parties?
I do, but you'd have to pay me, and I keep my clothes on.
Okay, well, two things I've never done before, but you know, okay, do a reading on me.
Okay. Well, I kind of... Okay, we'll clear yours after, because it's...
Oh,
I
okay.
have to
Well,
drum
no,
her.
if you need to clear.
Well, I
it,
would
surely-
like drum her and stuff, and so...
Yeah, let's finish with. Yeah, I think you need it.
I probably do.
Okay. So one of the things is we can remove the allergy, but if you're allergic to peanuts and you're suddenly not allergic to peanuts anymore, the last thing we're going to do is say, here's a bucket of peanuts. Eat up. See how your body processes that. Instead, you have to replace it with a positive. So one single peanut. Ta-da-ding. And so one single peanut. Oh my gosh.
We have props here.
Take your peanut. So one single peanut.
I will take this peanut in my hand and put it in my pocket. No.
No, put it in your body. In your body. Feel the peanut. Embrace the peanut.
Let's enunciate on peanuts.
Peanuts. Peanuts.
All right.
Okay.
Peanuts done.
This is really not how a normal session goes, just so people know. But it's fun. You will laugh because I'm funny. I think I am. In my head, I am.
I'm funny in my head too, so it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Yes. So with this allergy, we remove the allergy to the peanut, and now you put one in. So now you get to say a positive statement. Okay. Now, normally when we say positive statements, we do what's called I am statements. I am strong. I am beautiful. I am. And the first thing we do is we look for validation. We look for proof. We look for evidence. And the first thing that happens when we don't see that evidence is liar. And then we try and talk ourselves, but I am. But you're a liar. But I am. But I am. But I am. But I am. Okay, fine. We'll just pretend that I believe it. Okay, fine. And really, how deep does that get into your subconscious or into your heart? So instead, you can say the statement, I feel, and allow yourself to feel the emotion because that can be imaginary. In your case, the block is so strong right now that it's like there's no way that you can even pretend to feel it. You're still like, liar, liar. So what you do is you just add extra words in. So instead of saying, I feel loved, I allow myself to feel loved. I allow myself to desire to feel loved. I allow myself to one day be maybe possibly ready to possibly maybe feel loved. And that's like the one peanut.
The one, like the Elmo version.
Like entire. But that's like your one peanut. And so it's just the tiniest little bit that your body can receive and have zero resistance. And if you have zero resistance and you do it again tomorrow and you do it again the next day, then eventually it'll feel good to feel loved, and you won't go, I'm feeling loved, I need to run, and go and shut off. And then have ramifications and then try and undo and unwind. And then it just gets jumbled. We like to jumble things. Okay, so tune in. What's your statement? I allow myself
to safety.
To feel safe when I feel loved. I'm like
safety.
Let me allow you to find it, but I'm just going to tell you.
Wait. Is this an open book test where you're giving her the answers?
Yes. Yes.
I allow myself to feel safety when I'm loved.
Ooh. When I allow myself to feel
When
loved.
I allow myself to feel loved. I allow myself to feel safety when I allow myself to feel loved.
Yeah. Now say it again, but close your eyes and eat a peanut.
This is every time I have a session with Holly, it's different. So this is fun. I allow myself to feel safety when I allow myself to feel loved.
Okay, we're going to do it one more time while I secretly drum you.
I allow myself to feel safety while I allow myself to feel loved.
One more time.
I allow myself to feel safety when I allow myself to feel loved.
Now say it in your head.
I think at that, are we at a time where we can go to break?
Yeah. Yes, we can.
And then we'll work on you when we come back.
This will be a full construction project.
Yes.
It is going to be a full construction project. All right. We'll return after these messages. Okay, welcome back. Now for the fun part. Well, we're going to get a little woo-woo with Trip.
Okay, now
Woo-woo!
understand that...
That's really where it comes from.
So understand that I am not a believer, so I'm a little cynical. So given
That's good, because I'm a cynical psychic. So
okay, well, this
get
is
it.
perfect. And that being said, I'm open to getting better. And what's funny is that I used acupuncture 100 years ago, and it worked great. And I've had pain ever since. You know, I've a lot of surgeries and stuff, and so sometimes maybe you find something else, and you're such a cynic you never use it again. But have at me. So
I'm not going to like what you're going to do. I don't believe it. I believe it's all BS, but have at me.
That effectively... You know when you have the psychiatrist comedians in a crowd?
Yes.
And they bring someone up that they know who to grab. Mm-hmm. So I was just announcing that if you do anything great for me, this is a miracle.
No pressure. Just lower the bar a little bit, because I don't like pressure. I'm not a monkey.
Monkeys
a dancing monkey.
Respond well to pressure?
Bananas, dancing monkeys.
Okay. So I think you're up for penetrating my brain. Let's go ahead.
Speaking of bananas, okay. It's your brain. See, I was just tuning in, so that's his fault.
My brain is yellow mush.
I don't doubt that. Okay. I do. I very much doubt that.
There are brown spots in there. I'm old.
That's why she's going to clear the crap out.
Okay. Chris, that's a good look.
It's our sound guy.
Hey.
Oh, wow. I was looking at a man's butt.
You were looking at my butt?
No, man's butt.
Oh, I was like, my butt looks like a man? What?
No,
Sorry,
no.
This makes the hearing kind of hard. Okay. So, what came up was what's called a trapped emotion. So when emotions come up into our lives, a situation happens that causes an emotion. So situation, we match it with a similar emotion, and then we do something about it. So we decide what needs to change. Do we need to change? Does our environment need to change? Do the people in our environment need to change? And sometimes it means those people have to leave. And sometimes it's just our perspective.
You've met some of my co-hosts, clearly.
Not this one.
Not this one.
You're invited to leave because you make this emotion. So I'm making the change by letting you go. Yeah. And in this case, what happens sometimes is that we feel an emotion and we go, I don't know what the change needs to be. I don't know how to change this. I'm not sure how to process this. I'm not sure what to do with this. So I'm just going to stuff it right here in my back pocket. Okay. And I'm just going to pretend that it's not there, and I'm going to focus here. I'm going to focus all the way here. And by focusing all the way here, I don't have to look at this over here. But over time, each time that emotion comes up, we just add it to the pile. We add it to the pile. And we don't process it, and we don't really connect with it. And so it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And as it's getting bigger, it's kind of this raw emotion that just turns. And so over time, it takes more effort to stuff it down, stuff it down, stuff it down. And then eventually, this is where if it gets to the point where it doesn't stop being stuffed, it gets just below the surface. And just below the surface means it can explode and then sucked back down really fast. And that's where a lot of people think they're...
Hollie is a one-person sound effects company.
I am. And those are all professional terms. Yes.
You know, they teach them at Harvard, but if you... And going to Massachusetts Community College, we never learned that stuff. But go ahead.
No. Yeah, I lived in Maryland, so, you know,
okay.
That's close.
Yeah, but yeah, right around the corner.
Right. Other side of the country, that's all the same.
So he's eating peanuts now. He's
trying to like eat. If I eat more nuts, then this will make more sense because I won't feel so nutty. Okay, or I'll feel more nutty and then it'll align. I'm not sure. So, anyways, the emotion builds, and then it explodes. So what happens is you can feel a situation where you're supposed to feel this much emotion, right? Just a little bit, like a little drop. But instead of responding with a little bit, a little bit. I know, this is so stupid. I know. And then, and then instead you respond with this huge amount of emotion that's been stuffed down, and it all comes out. So it's situation, my emotional reaction. And so that's where we're like, I feel like I'm overreacting, or other people go, oh, you're way overreacting. You need to like calm it back down. And it's like, oh, it's not okay to feel this, so I'm just going to stuff it really fast.
And ironically enough, that's something that I talked to my therapist about this last week.
Oh, stuffing stuff?
Yeah, well, just overreacting to situations and getting really pissed off. And
yeah, and it's not that you're feeling emotions that aren't valid or that you aren't supposed to feel, because they're in there and they're raw, but it's that the situation only called for this much emotion. But this much emotion hasn't been dealt with and faced, and so it hasn't had a chance to be expressed.
So in essence, what I did, which was incredibly dumb on a level that is dumb squared, is I add oil to my car and then didn't put the oil cap back on.
I need to tell her what the emotion is first, because I know that you're going to tell her. Okay, so now finish your story. That way she can validate that it came before you finished your story.
So in essence, what happened is that I did something incredibly dumb. Could have ruined my car, oil all every place, open the hood and realize it. And my reaction was way over the top. And just was very frustrating for people to be around because I look like a mental patient.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, why are you overreacting on this thing that was so big? So do you want to know what the stuffed emotion is?
What?
Do you want to tell them what I told you?
Failure.
So it's a trapped emotion of failure. So every time you feel failure, you stuff it and you don't process through it. So instead of feeling a little bit of failure and handling it, you explode with a lot and then you stuff it all and you're like, no, I'll do something different. And you may make the changes to have success, but you don't allow yourself to feel that emotion of failure. It's like, nope, don't feel it. Don't feel it. Just move on. Just keep going. Just do something different. But the emotion explodes first.
Well, in this case, I mean, the idea of doing something incredibly, and I've got a lot going, and so I think what's happening is I'm letting a lot of crap that I have to deal with. A bunch of different projects we're working on, including some big ones, and so sometimes I'm not in the present when I'm doing something. I'm thinking about 9 other things. Mm-hmm. So I left the house door open the other day and forgot to put the oil cap back in my car. So these are things that are a little bit frustrating.
They're just like tiny on the grand scale of the successes you've had, but they're just tiny enough to like let this emotion out and explode. And then you're like, wait, I'm overreacting. This isn't appropriate for the situation, and stuff it back down.
So I've been using a linked swear word lately.
A linked swear word.
So it begins with an F word. It's just really it's about the worst expression you could have. And I use it, and it is I mean, it doesn't reflect well. On a hockey rink, it reflects very well. It's very appropriate when you're about to get in a fight with someone. Anywhere else but the rink, it is a horrible combination of words. And it does not make me look good or sound good. So can you fix this?
Yeah, we can drum it out of you.
Okay, let's do it.
But let me just see if there's something else that needs to be done too.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so you're going to have a homework assignment if you're okay with that too.
Okay.
So we'll drum it, and that will get the edge off.
Okay.
But then there's some deeper work you get to do.
Okay.
He's like, I'm scared. Okay.
Oh, you did kind of, hit the nail on the head. I mean,
Yeah. But it gets to go, because we all know how it feels, and we all know we don't like the emotion, but that doesn't mean we can express it. But sometimes we need to look at it and express it in order for it to go away. Okay.
So drum me.
Yep. So in your mind, you get to say, I release this trapped emotion of failure. I release, or even just release, 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 release.
Okay. How come I feel like circling the wagon train? Okay.
That wasn't me. That was the sound effects.
Okay.
Well, and normally, we do it where it's a longer drumming and you start at the feet and you do both sides and all inclusive and all around. But that's a sample.
In television, you have to come up with a problem, solve it all within 28 minutes and 30 seconds with commercials. So,
well, there you go.
this is, so in essence, so you did a reading on me before I let you know what the challenge was.
Yes.
That I do have it. Most people see me as very mild-mannered, but when I go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, it's not good.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of why they call me the emotional crap clearer, because a lot of times we go to talk therapy and we explain what we don't like in our life and we talk about what we want to fix. And then we spend even a year or 2 years or many years or months or weeks or whatever it is, talking and talking and talking, trying to do a different pattern and find all the problems and the loopholes. But instead, I kind of go directly to your spirit guides or angels or higher self, whatever vocabulary works. And I ask, okay, what's the block? What's the thing that's bugging you the most that's ready to go? Okay, here's what we talk about. So I used to work for a therapist office, and I would have times when the therapist would pull me in the closet and say, among the post-it notes, say, hey, I have this client that I just can't seem to do a breakthrough. And without knowing the client or anything, I would say, okay, and I would write down emotional allergy or this emotion, talk about this. And then they'd go in and they'd ask them questions that would bring it to the surface. Because so many times we get used to our crap, and so we don't realize that it's not part of us and it's not what needs to be worked on. And we'll find distractions in front of us. So that's kind of how it's a little bit different, because it's like, you're not going to tell me what you want to fix. I'll tell you what needs to be fixed. And I'm like, whew, I didn't say that assertive enough. I tell you what needs to be fixed.
Wow, wow, that was very assertive.
I know. I was like, wait, that sounded like I was apologizing as I said it. So
how did you find out that you had this gift?
So 15 years ago, I was a professional makeup artist and really good at my business. And I would get to a success point and then stop, and success point and then stop. And zoom, eek. And I couldn't figure out why. And I was talking to a friend of mine in Seattle, and she's like, I have this woman. She can clear your emotions. I was like, my emotions? Like, woo-woo. Like, this is crazy. And so I got on the phone with this woman, and she started going through, and she found this thing that I had from my childhood of, like, hatred. And I was like, I don't think that's me. Whatever. I don't like this lady. And then she's like, oh, I have to stop because I have this weird sensation in my body. And she started describing it. I'm like, oh, that's the very same thing I'm feeling right now. Whoa. Okay, I'm listening. And so she was able to clear stuff on the phone. And I was like, this is weird. So I flew up to Seattle, and I watched her do a session. And while she was doing her session, I was like, I know the answers before you know the answers. How am I able to do this? This is so freaking weird. And so I went home and I took classes and courses in the modality that she knew, and I learned how to do it. And then I still didn't tell anybody because it was really weird. I'm like, this is weird. Like, I don't know how this works, but I can do this thing. And so...
Can you read people's minds?
Depends. Sometimes they'll be thinking of something and I'll say something and they're like, oh, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Oh my gosh.
Do you see the future?
Yes, to some degree. Like, I see the trajectory. So on the path that you're on, I see where it can go. the potential. But I never share those pieces because I'm not a fortune teller.
Can you tell me who's going to win the Super Bowl by how many points? And I can parlay that into an over and under, and failure would be gone because I'll bet about $4,000 on it.
Oh,
If you can give me the winning team, the points, and the over and under.
I've gone to Vegas and helped people win a lot of money, but anytime I try betting for my own benefit, I lose it.
Do it for my benefit.
Do it for your benefit. It'd be really funny if I did tune in and get the things, but then if you bet on it and was wrong, you'd like come find me and hate me forever.
No.
That's a lot of pressure. I don't like pressure. I don't know if you've noticed.
Well, I've known you for a grand total of 35 minutes.
Here's the secret. I don't even know who's playing.
Okay,
So that would be a reading.
Yeah. Some large people.
Obviously, she hasn't been following me on Facebook.
I am following you on Facebook. My business has been so busy.
Look at that.
I got
what
yelled-
emotion are you feeling right now, Holly?
Shame. Lots of shame.
But you don't
It's
know
right
the
here. Hold on.
Kansas City Chiefs.
I predict that the 49ers are going to win.
Oh,
I
the
predict
49ers
the
are Niners.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Laying a point.
Make-
Okay, $5?
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
All
perfect. But you get a point.
Okay. I get a point?
Yes.
Okay.
So
That would have been really good if I prepared ahead of time to like.
no.
forecast.
This, I used to give out that I was one of those handicappers who would tell people who to bet on. So I was always feeling pressure.
Yes. Well, and part of what I do also is I can read like your emotional state. So if you really want a team to win, then I may say, well, it's going to be that person, or you want it to be that person. Like I could tell you who you want to win.
Well, yeah.
Like women would come to me and they'd say, tell me if I'm having a boy or a girl. And I'm like, okay, but just here's the disclaimer. If you really, really want a girl, it's going to come through girl, girl, girl really loud. And I'm going to say girl. Like, but yeah.
Okay. Well, you are fascinating. How do people get a hold of you?
They call me on a thing called a phone.
Okay.
No, I have, well, no, because I probably won't answer because I'm really busy or I don't follow people on social media as much. So I have Instagram, Hollie, HOLLIE.hope. Or
Is
Facebook.
that your real name?
That is my birth name, yeah. My first name and my middle.
Wow.
Hollie Hope. So my older sister is Chantel Faith. My younger sister was supposed to be Marcy Joy. But my maiden name's Ride. And so Chantel Faith Ride, Hollie Hope Ride, and then Marcy Joy Ride. And they're like, maybe Charity. Marcy Charity Ride.
And then your cousin Marcy Uber Ride.
Uber Ride. Yes. So it's Faith, Hope, and Lee.
This is, oh my God. We have a unicorn. After we get off the air, I want you to do a reading on this gentleman.
Ooh.
He is evil incarnate. And I want to see.
I noticed that. He's got a green hat. That's the color of evil. Because, I have green eyes, and so I'm only a little bit evil. But,
Okay. But we will do. Hey, you are a fascinating guest.
What was that? The hat comes off.
Oh,
My eyes change too. They go silver. When I'm really
So-
mad, are they silver?
Actually, yeah. We're going to be airing this right before your next drum circle or drum making workshop that you
Yes.
are having on what day? Talk about that.
In Salt Lake, it's February 29th. In St. George, it's March 7th. February 29th is at Sacred Energy Empowerment Center. I love saying that. And St. George.
where is that located?
It's 4500 South and just off of State Street, like 200 East. So, and then Red Mountain Resort is going to be the March 7th one. And that's like in my backyard in St. George amongst the gorgeous Red Cliff Mountains,
That's awesome.
Snow Canyon.
I think I'm going to come and visit you in a couple of days, actually.
You should.
I'll
be there.
Well, this is.
I know.
You could get great guests.
Well, thank you. Now, if I can only work on my co-host. No, I'm just kidding.
We're working on it. We removed one thing. Don't make it feel like a failure
I'm sorry,
today.
I'm
We
sorry,
just
I'm
cleared that. Now you're piling the crap up again. Cut me
Another peanut.
Character insults here.
Yes.
Hey, this
I
has
love
been
you.
fun.
And I love you.
I love you.
Thank you guys
How
so much.
about our audience? How do you feel about them?
I love you guys. You are amazing. And I really appreciate you guys tuning in and having fun with us on our show. I love this new dynamic. What do you think of it? You've been on my show before, so being on this show.
It was way more fun. I laughed a lot more, and I was way thrown off, which is perfect because you get authenticity.
Exactly. All right,
Okay.
guys. Well, we'll see you next week.
Okay,
All right. Bye.